My name's Chris, I live in Las Vegas, and I'm a magical practitioner. And today, I wanted to kind of give a magical confession. So, magical confession, now, I really haven't cast a spell out of a book in years. Do I still read psychic literature? All the time. But I learned the basics years ago, so I've never felt the need to have to open up a book again and cast a spell out of it. I haven't used herbs for spell casting in years. When I use herbs, I'm cooking or I'm making tea. I haven't drawn a magical circle to cast a spell in years, and I will tell you why. Same deal with crystals, same deal with using an athame or a magic wand or a crystal ball. I haven't used any of these occult practices in years. So why? Why? So the deal is, when you're first learning about the psychic world and the occult, you learn that there's so many different ways, so many different practices to get you in the mindset of connecting with nature, connecting with the deity, connecting with spirits, what have you, to make some sort of desired outcome. A lot of magic, or at least magical ritual that evolved into the 20th and 21st century, are kind of modeled after a ceremonial magic. And the funny thing is, Aleister Crowley and a lot of this Theosophical Society in the 18 and 1900s, they made that so. And Gardner and Buckland, when Wicca came out, they kind of adopted those practices or the idea of ceremonial and ritual magic. Now, ceremonial and ritual magic does go back in the ancient world, but don't fool yourself into thinking that the practices that people are doing now have anything to do with the ancient world. They're modeled after it, but it's a parody, it's a play, it's a psychodrama created now in order to get us into the mindset of spirituality. That being said, when I was being brought up by my dad, when he was teaching us psychic powers as children, he would tell us that all of that stuff is useful, props and tools and crystals and going into trances and spells and incantations. By the way, that's another thing I don't do. I don't do incantations anymore. I don't do lots of chanting, and I will tell you why. When being brought up, my dad told me all you need is this, and all magic is knowledge and what you know and experience, and all of the rest is just window dressing. So if I want to do a working or a casting, I will simply visualize what I'm doing. And then usually it will happen or not happen. I will visualize the outcome that I would like to have happen, and usually it will happen. And I don't ask for anything outside of the realm of nature because, believe it or not, I believe it's selfish. I believe asking for something that you could get yourself, rather selfish. And the ancients, they used magic, they used knowledge, they wrote it all down to survive, and they passed it on to people ahead of them. It was always about making a better life for the future and having a better future. That being said, magic nowadays is very ecocentric, and I'm not a big party to that. When I want to do a spell or spell casting, I don't try to push my will into anything. There's this beautiful space in between conscious thought and daydream. Well, I will get flashes of information, and I will know things about people and places and little flashes of the future. That's where I thrive. And I've learned that that's a more resonant place for me than spell casting. When I'm in a place, I try to align myself with the elements. I try to align myself with the energies of that place. I try to be conscious of the sounds, the feeling of the ground, the feeling of the air, the people around me, the energies around me. If there's movement, if there's anything happening all around you, I want to take all of that in and unify myself with it, become one with it, not to bend it to my will, but to bend myself to the will of the universe and the flow of the energies of life. Usually when you do that, or I've noticed usually when I do that, and you let the magic flow through you naturally and let it have its will, and you unite yourself with the world around you, positive change tends to come. Like, you will sense things that you would have not known if you were trying to will something to an existence. Now that is my magical confession. Even though I keep in contact with the magical community, again, wanting to see if all the trends I remembered from years ago still exist, and yeah, they still exist. The magical community, as far as I can tell, hasn't changed in the last 20 years as far as the sources that people read upon and the practices and the gatherings that they do. It's pretty much all the same. And I'm comforted and I think and entertained by all of it. But again, haven't done a spell out of a book in years. Haven't cast a magic circle in years. Haven't burned a whole bunch of candles in order to make something happen in years. Because again, I will just visualize something and it will happen. Or I don't cleanse my house every other month. I don't put circles of salt at edges of my doorways. I don't put bowls of rice at the entrance of my house anymore. I honestly just visualize a protective shield and just push it out towards the outskirts of my property. Honestly, I recommend that. I think all of the accoutrements are overdone. Hugs, health, and happiness from Las Vegas.